Mr. Michael, you are my... Dude, I'm trying out for American Idol next year.
That show's still on? That show's still on?
It's still on, actually. ABC bought it out.
I know.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, guys? Thanks for tuning in. I'm really, really excited about today's episode. I've got Katie Leclerc on from a show you might know, the Brett DAVERN Show, featuring Katie Leclerc every weekday, basically at 7 a.m. Pacific time on Idobi Radio. You might know Katie also from Switched at Birth. No.
Yes,
Switched at Birth. I don't know why. That was a trick. I'm testing you, Michael. I'm testing you. No, I love Katie. She's such an awesome human being. She's definitely on Team Human, that's for sure.
Yes.
We talked a lot about Amish things. We got really deep. Skydiving, baking. I mean, we ran the gambit again with our guest. Gambit? Gamut.
You said gambit.
I did say gambit. It's gamut. You know what? Never knew that. It's not gambit, not like the mutant who throws explosive things, projectiles.
You might want to tell our viewers about the
what?
The YouTube video issues.
Hey, if you're watching on YouTube, we had some technical issues with the camera. About 3 of them went out, and we only had 1 left. So you're going to probably see 1 camera angle for a while, and we apologize for that. However, still a great show, because Katie's a beautiful person. Actually, it was really good that Katie's camera didn't go out, now that I think about it, because people are watching it for Katie.
Yeah.
I would. Anyway, before we start, a friendly reminder to you guys that the entire episode can be downloaded on Apple Podcasts or watched on YouTube. And, the first hour is here on Idobi, and shout out to Idobi for everything that you do. Super thankful for you guys. Shout out to Nice Guy Digital. Good podcast family.
It is.
It is. And you know what? I just want to say thank you to the listeners as well. Without them, there would be no us. And without us, there is no Wesam's world. So, you're welcome. Weirdest thank you ever. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Katie Leclerc. Uh-oh. There
we go.
And I was singing.
You were singing serenades to my mom.
I was singing Vicky Leclerc. Michael.
Yep. Am I fired again?
You are so fired again.
Oh my God. Are you a prankster, like in general?
Yeah.
Oh.
I love it. I love doing pranks that even I won't even see the after effect of. I just love it. Makes me feel good on the inside.
Huh.
Like waving to people. Like honking, waving, and then driving away, knowing that they're thinking about who was that guy. That makes my day.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
The best prank I ever played, I had this idea for like a craft project where I wanted to take slides and then use literally like chainmail and chainmail them together to create a curtain and use it as like a window curtain. Does this make sense at all?
So pictures.
Yeah, like
strung together.
Yeah, but the slides, like the negatives.
Oh, the negatives.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then they have the like plastic outer thing. So then you drill a hole, and then you drill a hole in the next one, and you link the 2 together, right?
Right.
And then you get enough of them, and you make like a curtain for a window, so the light comes through the slides, and it's beautiful. And
Ooh.
I thought this was such a cool idea. So I was on Craigslist like searching for these slides because they're kind of expensive if you buy them. And I came across this place that was getting rid of a bunch of film negatives. And I was like, oh, sweet. So it's like out in like Sun Valley or something like that. It's sort of like a not super great neighborhood. And they're behind a dumpster. And I'm like, oh, strange. Okay. So I go and I get them. And I just like pick up the whole bunch of them. And I go to my car because I'm trying to get back in my car really fast.
Yeah.
I go back to my house. And I realize that they're all slides and negatives of people's funerals.
Huh?
Yeah. It's just a gigantic collection of like a funeral home that had taken pictures of all of these processions over like the course of like 10 years. So it's really interesting. You can see like the fashion change throughout whatever. Anyway, so then my roommates and I are moving. We're about to move. And the whole time that we lived in this apartment, we got mail for this one person. It was like a Hispanic sounding name, like Jose Rodrigo or something like that.
Right.
One of the funeral processions was the exact same name.
No.
Yeah. And so what I did, I took the slides. It's like such a, like, I don't even know why I thought this was so funny, but I took the slides and I put it in the air vent, and then I put like a little piece of string hanging out the air vent, so whenever the air conditioner would turn on, it would like flap in the wind. Yeah. And then so whoever moved into that apartment got mail for this address or for this person. I don't even know if they put two and two together, but I thought I was so clever.
Wow, what a dark prank, and what a weird prank. They're like, wait a minute, why is this guy's funeral procession in the air vent?
I know.
And he keeps getting mail here. Ghosts.
Ghosts.
I dig that. I like where your mind goes.
I thought it was
I like
so
that.
funny.
I mentioned this before on the podcast, but there is a darker side to me, which I usually never act upon.
Sure.
And some of it involves darker pranks that it's mainly chaotic. You're just spreading chaos in the world. And it's
anarchy.
It really is. I had I will tell the story, but I had a thought yesterday. There was of doing this chaotic thing for no reason, just to spread chaos and negativity.
What?
This guy was trying to make a left turn, and I was like the second car behind the stoplight.
Okay.
And I just had to scoot up a little bit, and he would be able to make his left turn behind me. Mm-hmm. But he's kind of like backing up traffic on his end. And if I don't move forward, this could be gridlocked.
Right.
So it all relies on Wesam Quiche.
Wesam Quiche has the power.
Wesam Quiche has the power at that point. Not the right way to pronounce my name, by the way. Wesam. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to move forward. And as I was moving forward, I was like, what if I just didn't go?
You didn't have to.
No, but what if I just stopped and just smiled and just kept like just smiling at the guy, and like cars are honking, the light's green, everybody's honking, and I'm just sitting in my car having a grand old time.
Sipping some tea?
Yeah. They get out of the car, they're not like, go, go. And I'm like, I'm not going to go.
Turn up the radio just a little bit. Have you heard this one? Cardi B. Oh, yeah.
Oh, I love thinking of things like everybody gets angry, upset, their days get ruined.
Do you like making people angry?
No, I'll never do that, but there's a part of me that wants to. Or like go up to a couple. This is the story that I've told before. And I see a couple having a good time at a restaurant. Go up to the table, be in tears, and be like, I thought you were single. And like run away crying. And the guy's like, what the hell? Who was that guy? And they start fighting. And he's like, no random guy would ever just come up here and make up a story. Who are you sleeping with? Why are you, and like they break up. Relationship gets ruined.
Gosh.
And I just walk away.
And you're just fine with it.
I'm just walking.
I
would never do that, but there's a part of me that kind of wants to do that.
Yeah.
It's weird.
You're strange. Are you a sociopath?
I don't know.
Did you used to magnify ants with a magnifying glass as a child?
No, I love ants. I love Bugs Life.
I love ants. They're the best insect. They're huge. I mean, they're tiny, but they're huge.
I love ants. Sometimes I would come home from the bus stop, see the crack in the sidewalk, ant hill, just watch it.
Okay, so you are a sociopath.
God, yes. I think I'm sociopath.
I was at a restaurant the other day. I frequent this restaurant with a friend of mine. And, like, we're friendly with the waiter, right? Like, I don't know. You go there and you're like, hey, dude, how's it going?
Oh, okay.
Like, just friendly.
I don't know. There was a weird way you said that. I was like, friendly with the waiter. This is the way you said it. Friendly with the waiter, yeah.
I'm very friendly.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
So me and this waiter, we're getting friendly over the many times that I've been there.
Yeah.
And then I went recently with one Brett Davern to the same restaurant.
I know him.
And the waiter, it's like one of those places that like kind of has rules.
Yeah.
And the waiter goes, hi, have you two been here before? Like he I don't know this for sure, but I really think that he thought that I was like with my other friend, like romantically, and I was here on a date with Brett, which is the silliest thing, but he was like trying to cover for me. So he's like, have you been here before? And I'm like, oh, this is fun. So I start messing with him, and I go like, no, how does it work? What do we, this is my first time.
Oh my gosh.
And the guy covered for me the whole time.
That's classy. That's a classy
He got a good
server.
tip.
That's a classy server.
Yeah. Yeah. So servers out there, if you want a good tip, don't out the person who you think is cheating on their person.
Would you do it? Would you out them? Or would you continue on with it?
I just wouldn't say anything. I would just assume they were friends.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd say something.
It's not like we're like staring into each other's eyes. Either friend, by the way. Like,
Yeah.
not even the first guy. I'm not like holding his hand or like playing footsie under the table.
Right.
I'm just like Katie. I'm like chat. It's like you and I go to lunch and they just assume. How dare they just assume?
I know. How dare they?
How dare they?
But what if you knew they were cheating? You still wouldn't...
As a waiter?
Yeah, as a waiter.
No, I want a tip.
Yeah? Again, there's the chaotic side of me.
My
Be
personal
"Hey, I saw
gain."
you last week.
I saw you last week. How's that blonde chick? What blonde chick? Ugh!
I'll be back with bread. Later.
Do you want it warm or soft? I mean, wait, what? Soft or cold? The butter. The butter. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Hey, let's seriously talk about Brett Davern's biggest problem, keeping butter out. And I saw your tweet recently. Hey, man, you don't do that. It's something weird for me.
It's disturbing. It's a constant argument that I don't think there will ever be a solution to.
Does he know how butter is made? I think that's the issue.
Tell me how butter is made, Wesam.
It's Amish people, right? That's the clip. That's the clip for the episode. That's Amish people.
Amish. You gotta say it like that. Amish.
Amish. Pennsylvania Amish.
I played a movie. I was in a movie where I played a. It was a series of movies for Hallmark. In the first one, it's called The Shunning, and
Wait, is this your recent
Danielle
Hallmark?
Pennebaker. No,
Okay.
this was like a few years ago. Danielle Pennebaker plays a girl who gets shunned from her Amish community.
Whoa.
The second movie, I pick it up. It's called The Confession. She's not in the movie anymore, so I'm playing Katie Lapp.
Not Katie Leclerc.
Not Katie Leclerc, but Katie Lapp. And then I do the third one as well. The third one we shot in Calgary. So here's where it gets interesting.
Okay.
My character has a Pennsylvania Dutch accent, which is hella hard. It's really difficult.
What does it sound like? I've never even...
Here's the problem. It kind of sounds deaf.
Okay.
So the whole
We're going
time I
to be
would,
careful.
Slip into the deaf accent that I had been so used to doing on Switch to Birth. It was like incredibly difficult for me to keep it straight because the deaf accent is like a second nature thing for me now because I did it for 5 years, every day for 5 years.
Yeah.
And I was in the middle of filming Switch when I was doing this accent, both
Ooh, that's
sequels.
Tough. That's tough.
So I was like, ah. Anyway, so this is where I was headed with this story though. So in Calgary, I'm like speaking to the dialect coach and like rehearsing and going over lines, blah, 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 blah. And he goes, have you ever been to a Hutterite community? And I was like, no. And he goes, do you want to? And I go, yes. So I spent an afternoon with the Hutterites, and it was the greatest experience of my life.
Oh my gosh.
It was so fascinating. It was so cool.
Why? What was like...
So I just felt like it was like
memorable about
it was like looking into this curtain of this like, you know, they're not Amish, the Hutterites. They have television. So the girl Abigail was her name. So she knew that I was on TV. It's just that they're very structured and it's very disciplined and they're basically Amish, but they have electricity.
Okay.
And so the girl who like took me around is the main like leader guy. It's his daughter. So she's telling me about like the weddings and like how the weddings come together and it's like people from different Hutterite communities. And they have these joyous occasions, but there was a wedding coming up, and so they were doing lots of prep for the wedding and blah, blah, blah. We ate lunch with them. The men eat on one side of the room. The women eat on the other side of the room. Yeah. They put this thing in front of me, and it is the most intestine-looking sausage I've ever seen in my life.
Whoa.
And I'm like, I'm a guest here, so I have to eat it.
Oh.
And then a broth soup that was like literally just broth and like basically clear. And I was like, this is going to be, just get through it. Just like, don't, just be polite.
Yeah,
You're fine. Wesam, it was the best sausage and best soup I've ever had. Like,
Wow.
legitimately. They sent me home with like 3 loaves of their bread because I was super obsessed with it. Like, I made best friends with a cow that day. It's like literally followed me around and just kept licking my hand, which was kind of gross, but kind of sweet.
Yeah.
It was such a cool experience.
Wow. It sounds like pretty nice to actually go and do that for like maybe once a year. Or stay there for a couple days. And then
I would love it.
Yeah.
They build these cabins for people, and then they sell them to like a KOA, basically, like a campground. And there's these cabins, and like they took me into the shop, and they were just humble, sweet, kind, beautiful people that I was really grateful that I got to like look into that world. Anyway, the way they make their butter.
Best podcast ever.
The way they make their butter is my cow best friend.
Yeah.
Like, it's made there. Like, they milk the udder.
Yeah.
And then they do it the churn, like the old school, like,
Yeah.
that thing.
What does that do, though? What do you put in there?
It's like the cream, salt, and I think that's it. It's like cream and salt, or maybe it's unsalted. And then you just, like, churn it. And you could do it in, like, a mason jar. If you put, like, heavy whipping cream in a mason jar.
I'm so stupid. I know cream comes from, like, the dairy of a cow, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what is cream exactly?
It's like thicker and more condensed. And I think when you milk the cow, there's like, it separates. So there's like sort of like when you make cheese. Have you ever seen that process?
Oh, I get
So
that
it's
kind of
basically
milk.
like the curd.
Yeah, I get milk with that stuff in there.
Yeah.
And I like that stuff.
And it's thicker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It gets a little, that stuff is good.
It's good. So you put that in like a mason jar and you just shake it up
Okay.
for like 3 hours. And then you have butter.
That is insane.
Yeah.
And so Brett needs to understand this process.
He should make his own butter.
He should go to Amish country for a month. Mm-hmm. Grow out his facial hair. Mm-hmm. And then what? That was a huge gasp. I have to know.
There's an Amish person
Okay.
who I was reading this article today.
Okay.
I'm a little ADD today, Wesam.
No, I
Very
like
excited.
it.
You just glanced at my coffee cup.
I did. I was like,
disparagingly.
yeah, I get caffeine.
Yeah. There's an Amish person who
Okay, let's take a breath before we continue. Literally, you went. There's an Amish person. Okay.
he's using his horse and buggy as an Uber. You can order an Uber
Okay.
that is a horse and buggy.
You know what I thought you were gonna say?
What?
I bet an Amish person will look like Brett.
Me too.
Michael, could you search the web for Amish people that might look like Brett Davern while we're talking?
Sure.
This is why I hired you for moments like this.
And why you'll never leave.
Yeah, he won't. We love each other now.
I love it.
Who is that?
This is soon to be named Megan from the Brett Davern show.
Of course she would call now.
I know.
It's too late. We're already mid-show, Megan. But thank you. She's probably, it's a Saturday, 10. Hey, I'm surprised. What is a good time to start texting people on weekdays for business-related matters? Is 8 a.m. okay?
Do any of these? We can go through them.
What do you think? 8 a.m., 9 a.m.?
I think 9. 8:30. It depends on the person.
Okay.
I mean, I'm up at 5:30 in the morning, so you could text me anytime.
Okay, see, yeah, I'm up super early around that time as well.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, I gotta wait to do some stuff until the people wake up.
It's so funny. Doing the show now, we'll finish the show and like be out in the world and go like, oh, I want to order a burger for breakfast because it's lunch for me.
Yeah.
But everybody else is still sleeping.
Okay, let's see what we got here.
I think he just needs to grow out his beard and then shave the like no mustache but have the chin strap.
He could pull off Amish. Brett Davern can definitely pull out Amish.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy, the mugshot, top left.
That one?
That looks like Brett.
That's such an insult to Brett.
It is. But he'll never know what we're talking about. So
I know, that's fine. You know what? I don't think this is possible. Unless you're listening to this and you'd love to Photoshop Brett Amish, tweet at me, send it to me, and
Weird Al Amish.
Okay.
That was the first CD I ever owned. Was what was it called? It was Gangster's Paradise, but it was Amish Paradise.
Yeah.
Bad Hair Day. Weird Al Bad Hair Day.
Really? That was the very first?
Mm-hmm.
You want to know my first CD?
I do.
The soundtrack for Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Oh, that makes
Seriously?
perfect sense.
Yep.
Seriously.
That was the
Was
first.
that yours too?
It was actually.
Did we just become best friends?
FYI, the camera.
Kicked in?
No.
Oh.
It.
Oh man, which one broke?
Let's be best friends.
Oh man.
Come sit by me.
There we go. It's back.
It's
Oh, it's
back.
back.
It's back.
And it's
Almost
gone
flipped
again.
out. Oh, it's gone again. Ah! Is it on or off?
It goes back and forth.
It goes back and forth. Well, this is the world of technology.
So are these the past guests that you had?
Michael, you're out of here. Kidding. It's not your fault. You think Megan could help out? This would be that people are going to tune out if they start listening to us doing tech problems on here. So there was something we were talking about before this.
Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Yes, Mortal Kombat Annihilation was also the first movie I saw. And,
That was the first movie you saw in theaters?
yeah. And it was
Double whammy. I like that.
I remember it so vividly going to the movie theater, and it was nighttime.
How old were you?
5th grade.
Okay.
And it was nighttime. I was like, oh my gosh, I never got to do anything like this.
Yeah.
And when I went to the mall to the movie theater that was in the mall, they had arcade games and stuff before you walked in. I was like, oh, this is like really cool. And then getting the popcorn and the soda. And then as a 5th grader who loved martial arts, seeing Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Incredible.
Mine was blown.
Was it for something? Was it like a birthday or something?
So one of the soccer players no, it wasn't a soccer player. You know what? I think it was somebody in my class. His name was David.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember David could do a lot of pull-ups, and I couldn't do a single one.
And it was, how does David relate to
Oh,
Mortal
David's
Kombat?
birthday, I think.
Oh, David's birthday.
Yeah, or he was there somehow.
Huh.
I remember the car we were in had a hole in it.
In the bottom of it?
Yeah, like you
where
could
your
see
feet
where
were?
the road goes. It was like a tiny, like perfect square.
Huh.
Very weird.
How did that get there?
These are weird, random memories I have. Why do you think that happens? Like, see, I don't know why I started remembering those details. Like, I just didn't, but you said Mortal Kombat Annihilation, and then all of a sudden there started to be a chain reaction in my mind, starting to remember all these things. That's really interesting.
I think it was a powerful moment for you, though, right? Like,
absolutely. It's
you're
my
like,
first
I'm
movie.
an adult. I'm
Right.
basically an adult.
Yeah. Great movie. No, at the time, great movie. We watched it.
No, it's bad.
Sorry.
It's very, very bad.
Very bad. Lots of plot holes.
Bad
You don't say.
Bad acting.
Yeah.
But movies based on video games are always so good, so it's really surprising.
Wreck-It Ralph is probably the best movie
Wreck-It
based
Ralph was
on video
good.
games.
Silent Hill is also a good one.
Actually,
Oh,
I
yeah,
like Silent Hill.
yeah.
Some plot holes, but like it.
I mean, it's
Max
not
Payne.
saying much, but Silent Hill is probably the best.
Yeah. I remember seeing that by myself. Max Payne.
Also, yeah, we lost the camera.
All cameras.
No. We have Katie's camera.
All right. Well, right now we're on just on Katie.
Leclerc show.
It's the Katie Leclerc show. At least we got our trailer for it
There you go.
right before.
I'm
I'm trying so hard not to be angry.
I'm really sorry. I'm
Um,
really sorry.
Wait a minute. Where'd you get this mug?
Society 6.
What's that?
It's a website that my friend works at.
Yes, that's the one we bought the
Yep.
the
yep,
old
yep,
posters
yep,
for.
yep.
This is really cool. It's heavy.
Yeah, it is. I
Keeps
like
things
them a lot.
warm?
Yes.
Society 6. Shout out.
Society6.com. Check them out. Do you know why this is my mug that I use every day? I'll tell you why, Sam.
Why?
Because it is a reminder to be a shark, not a guppy.
Ooh. Is that how you live your life?
It's not how I used to. It's how I'm trying to now. But see, he's kind of smiling still.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying?
I like the scar on his eye.
I
He's
do
been through
too.
stuff.
He's been through. He's a survivor.
Does
But
he
he's
have,
smiling his way through it.
does he have a name?
No?
Oh.
Should we give him one?
Craig.
I like it.
Craig the shark.
Craig the shark.
Craig the shark. We should do a voiceover thing together.
For Craig the Shark?
For Craig the Shark. What could I be? Could I be another shark, or who should I be? The fisherman?
You could be the fisherman.
Yeah.
You're trying to catch the shark in the sea.
Yes! I'm gonna get you, you bastard!
Oh my God. Did you just see Leonard the fisherman was in the studio? I don't know what happened to him, but
Leonard?
Speaking of saying the name Leonard or Leonardo wrong, you see my Snapchat story from yesterday?
What happened? No,
My friend
really
Jonte Lagros. I'm still giving him shit for it. I give my friend Jonte so much shit constantly.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, he was telling me something. He goes, "Yeah, man, what's that movie with Leonardo DiCaprio?" And I'm like, "Wait a minute,
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Leonardo," and he's like, "I meant Leonardo." I give him so much shit.
Leonardo.
We're going to Japan next year.
I know. I'm excited for you.
So excited.
Hey, got a question for you. Do you want to go skydiving with me? There's a segue. There's a reason it happened.
Sure. It made me nervous. Anytime a woman says, "Hey, I have a question for you," or "Hey, can I ask you a question?" it makes me immediately nervous.
Oh, let's examine that.
Yeah.
That's some baggage there.
Yep.
Let's unpack that.
Okay.
What's that about?
I want to talk about the skydiving first.
I'll go back to it.
Yeah.
What's that about?
The skydiving? Let's talk about skydiving first.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we'll go back to that.
Leonardo DiCaprio has some interview where they pulled a shoot and it didn't happen, and then they pulled the second shoot and it didn't happen, but magically there was a third and they pulled the third shoot and he lived.
Whoa.
So everybody, like I say, I really want to go skydiving.
Yeah.
Nobody will go with me.
I'll go. I've been.
You go again?
Yeah. Best thing you'll ever do in your life.
I really want to do it.
It's awesome. You feel like your first few seconds of it are so intense because you pick up speed so quickly, and then eventually you hit not critical mass. What is it? Something like that, where it's basically as fast as you're gonna go falling, and then it stops feeling like you're falling anymore. And then you feel like you're just floating because of all the wind hitting you, and so you feel like you're actually flying, and you're so high up that it just looks like you're just flying in the air. And then eventually the ground starts getting bigger and bigger, and then the guy pulls his parachute. So yeah.
And then you coast your way down after that.
Yep.
It's scary.
Go to Santa Barbara and do it. Beautiful.
When are we doing this? Let's do it.
I'm shooting now.
Oh yeah,
season
you
2.
can't. Yeah, you gotta.
So
You gotta not do that while you're
yeah, maybe after
a
I'm done
big
shooting.
time star.
For now, not a star.
Yeah.
I guess a star.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Own it. Be a shark, not a guppy.
I'm gonna be Wesam.
I'm gonna be Craig.
Michael, who are you gonna be? Okay, cool.
The silent assistant.
Great. I dig it. Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
So women. Why don't you like when women ask you questions?
No, because it's the setup.
Oh.
Can't stand it.
Have you been burned by that setup before?
I don't think burned is the right word.
Mm.
Just, I know maybe a conversation I don't want to talk about is coming up. And so I'm like, oh boy, here we go.
But not every time.
No, and that's the thing. Like, sometimes it's like, hey, can I ask you a question? I'm like, yeah. And
Where'd you get that shirt?
Hey, yeah. And I'm like, hey, just say, where'd I get that shirt? Don't set it up with, can I ask you a question? That makes it nervous. Like, it seems like you're prepping yourself.
Oh.
You know? Just ask it. Whatever it is, just ask it. I'd rather have it just asked than can I ask you a question? Whew.
Huh.
Yeah, makes me nervous.
It's a preface, yeah. Yeah, no, I see that.
Mm. Yeah.
But specifically women? What if a man says, can I ask you a question?
Let's try it. It's only been from women, so maybe.
Hey, Wesam, can I ask you a question? I don't have a question.
See?
to ask.
Yeah, it's still there a little bit, even though we knew it was a setup. Just, I'm kind of imagining if I like a random guy or a friend said that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I'd still be like, what are we talking about here? What are you doing? You okay? What's going on?
What's going on?
Yeah, I don't know.
All right. Interesting. No, I see this. I see what you're saying, that it's like a setup, that they're preparing themselves.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Pretty intense. Pretty intense. Why is the Jersey Shore coming back?
Because we have no new ideas, and actually,
I can't.
yeah, no, I don't know about Jersey Shore. T-shirt time. I can't do it.
You know who the only guy I like on there, and I think he'd be nice to talk to?
Which one?
The DJ,
I was gonna say Pauly D.
Pauly D.
Yeah.
I feel like on a one-on-one with him, I'd have a good time.
I don't think I'd have a good time with any of them.
I've heard Pauly D in like separate conversations,
Mm-hmm.
like solo and stuff. He seems the most real. We'll get Pauly D on the show.
You should
Yeah, it'd be fun.
find out what's up.
Dude, what is in my eyeball? It's been happening all week. I'll just get a weird itch. You know what it is? My long, luscious lashes. That's what I think they are.
It happened in one of the recordings last week too. I
Right?
think.
I'm telling you, this struggle is real for me right now in life. My
So sorry for you.
eyelashes are so long that they get stuck and they tickle me.
Do you know that Shakespeare invented the word eyeball?
What?
Yeah.
Can we verify this?
Yeah.
For real?
For real. Also, gnarled.
Cuck.
What'd you call me?
Yeah, you know what? Something that annoyed me tremendously while I was on my phone. Hey, let me restart that sentence because it sounded like it was my first time speaking English.
You're doing great.
There was a reporter who was reading these racist tweets by this Asian woman who hated white people. And in one of the tweets, she says like the F word and all this horrible stuff. And then she says the word pissing in it. And he's like, ooh, I don't like to say that P word. I'm just going to say peeing. And it made me so like, everything else you were okay saying, but pissing, like that made you go, I don't want to say pissing. So I'll just say peeing.
Weird.
Very weird. Made me like, I don't like that.
Language is so interesting. Very powerful.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, we choose what words give it.
That's why I think
power.
it's interesting.
Yeah.
Because different cultures, like you say, the bloody, like this bloody idiot, and like that's really bad. But then they'll say fuck, and it's like not that bad.
Right. I wonder, like, some people don't like moist. Sorry, Michael, is it, did he come up with eyeball?
There are conflicting articles.
Okay, Michael.
Yeah.
No.
I
Like
figured-
when the
I
one
figured
one
Katie would
says
be coming
one
out
no
here with her
one.
false facts.
We have one article that says 20 words we owe to Shakespeare, and eyeball as one word is on there.
Eyeball as one word. Yeah, from The Tempest.
And Webster's says that while it's true that eyeball may still have been a new word in Shakespeare's time, he cannot be said to have coined it, as it appears in works going back to at least 1575. But eyeball is two separate words.
Okay. Well, I didn't realize we brought a liar on the show today.
I mean, it's like it's one of those like half true.
Yeah.
Eyeball as one word.
All right. Elbow, though. He invented elbow.
Michael, you know what to do.
Well, here are the 20. If you're
Yeah, let's do that. That's easier. Cut out the middle.
addiction,
Ooh.
archvillain,
Archvillain.
Okay.
assassination.
I knew that one. Yep.
Hey, man.
I literally Googled it yesterday. So, like last night at like 12 p.m.
Yeah.
That'd be a.m. Yep.
Jesus, and you woke up at 5?
You know what? That's how much I love you.
Oh, thank you so much.
What else you got, Michael?
Bedazzled, belongings, cold-blooded,
Cold-blooded.
Really?
disheartened,
Wow.
eventful,
This-
fashionable.
This is okay. This is enough.
Okay.
No, this is so interesting to me. Like, you can just make up words. Like he made up these words. I guess I guess we're doing it in this time era too.
Bay.
Dough.
Both words that we just said were 3 letters. He invented assassination.
I like how certain things become a verb too, like Google.
Yeah.
Yeah, please go ahead.
I got in a very heated debate one time on the set of Switched at Birth.
Oh, please.
Is Googleable a verb or a
Adjective?
Adjective, yeah.
It's an adjective.
I don't think so.
Google-
Wait, no. Yeah. No, an adjective or I forgot what the argument was.
It's an adjective,
but-
yeah.
Yeah.
To Google is the verb, right? Yeah.
Right.
He is Googling. She is Googling. He Googled.
So that's a verb. Yeah.
Googled, yeah. Oh, that's Googleable.
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 What a great word that is.
It's up there.
Googleable. Sounds like something stuck in your throat.
It could be like one
Googleable.
of those words where there's like multiple variations on it, where it could be an adjective and it can
Right.
be a verb.
That was the debate, I think. Do you know one of my favorite weird words?
Oh, I'd love to know.
In Canada, they call the garbage disposal in your sink, they call it a garburator.
A garburator.
It's such a better word.
It is. I like that better. Garburator.
Yeah.
In Wisconsin, water fountains are called bubblers.
Oh. How does that happen? How do those like regional variations happen?
Magic. It's divided into hemispheres.
The magic is?
Yeah, with ley lines and everything. What's it like? I like how you're like, well, I'm gonna sit back for this. How much fun are you having on the Brett Davern show?
So much fun.
I've complained about this, and I'll still complain about it. I want more than an hour of it.
Me too. Me too.
Because
Yeah.
I know you guys gotta have commercials. I get it. It's business. You're in it for the money. But no, I just I really
love
enjoy
it.
you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you should be meaner to Brett.
Oh.
I'm kidding. No, I like Brett.
Can I say you might not have the same experience, but I prefer the episodes where there's no guest.
Okay.
For your podcast, I feel probably want a guest.
Sometimes no.
Sometimes no. How do you deal with a guest that's like not great? Like right now. What are you doing?
We
How are you
act like there's
coping through
camera
this?
problems and we ended early. That's something I learned on my old podcast through trial and error. And luckily, I nip that in the butt by making sure I get guests that I know will be good. Now, sometimes it's kind of like a little bit of a crapshoot if I
Yeah.
haven't met them. But usually now I can tell whether they're going to be a good guest. And even if they're a little shy in the beginning, there's always stuff to talk about. You know what I mean? Especially if I don't know them, I'm usually much more curious. And like, I want to delve into more about what they're doing and
That's what I
their
like
life
about yours is you really like get into it, the nitty gritty, the beautiful little nugget of who that person is.
Well, that's great. Yeah, that's what I like. I'm very curious about that. I'm very curious about usually what makes people tick. Why do they do the things they do?
Yeah.
I like their life story, but I don't like it where they're kind of just like, hey, where do you come from? Tell us a little bit about yourself. Because I don't like asking it in that way.
That's like a canned response.
Yeah, because they've been asked that a million times. Do you know what I mean? And you can't really usually and also you got to make it conversational as well. Sometimes it's just like you just got to ask the question because sometimes I love knowing like, what was it like a childhood fear you had then?
Oh.
That's really personal, you know?
Yeah.
If they want to be honest.
Yeah.
I answered that question totally wrong at us.
What happened?
Oh man, it was great. It was a classic me answer to such a question. They go, "What is your biggest fear?" And it's me and my co-star Ben Rappaport, who's coming on next week.
Nice.
And Ben's like, "Oh man," he said something like spiders or rats, you know, something, a common fear.
Yeah.
And then I go, and they go, "Oh, okay, cool." And they made a little joke or whatever. And they're like, "How about you, Wesam?" I'm like, failing my creator. And it was like, it sucked all the energy.
Crickets.
They're like, "Oh, okay." And I'm like, that's
It's
my
honest.
answer.
Yeah.
There you
It's
go.
honest.
Definitely, I know that's not going to make it into Us Weekly. But, I don't know. It's nice just to be honest, right?
Yeah.
What happened there?
I think that was mine.
That was
Nothing.
yours? Oh my God. Killing me. Okay. But yeah. Don't you like honest answers from people?
Oh my God. Yes.
It's much more interesting, right?
Oh yeah. Don't give me the canned response.
Yeah.
Get into it.
I'm starting to make fake responses to questions that I know I can't answer and I've answered a million times before.
I like that.
Like, hey, what can we expect from season 2 of your show?
Somebody's pregnant. I can't tell you who, but maybe somebody's pregnant. Maybe.
Oh, that's
That was
great
my
answer.
I always did that.
Oh,
Maybe somebody's pregnant. You'll have to tune in to see.
I like that.
No one was.
Mine's too ridiculous.
What?
And sometimes, you answer these on email.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I go, they're shifting genres. They're going into a post-apocalyptic zombie thriller in space. Period. The next question.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah. Because here's my issue with that question.
Uh-huh.
You should know better as a reporter, as a journalist, that I don't have that information.
What does your publicist say when you send that in?
Nothing.
They just delete that part of it and then
Probably.
forward it on.
Probably.
Interesting.
But that's the answer I give.
Yeah.
Even on, what's it called, red carpet stuff?
Yeah.
I say it as a joke.
Yeah, but in person, you can tell the inflection and like you're humorous about it. In an email,
Yeah, you can't tell.
you can't.
It's great.
Wow.
I just don't. It's not that I don't care. I just, hey, that's what I'll do. I guess it's not caring to a certain degree.
But it is like, there's no way for you to know that.
No.
Showrunners don't tell actors anything. Actors cannot be trusted.
No, they can't.
No.
Tom Holland, clearly. He spoils a lot of like the Marvel universe stuff.
Oh, really?
What's that clip of? Was it the Hulk? The actor who played the Hulk?
Yeah, Mark Ruffalo is pretty bad with it too, where he
Oh,
basically
yeah.
he spoils Infinity War, and Don Cheadle's like, dude,
That was so. But he didn't really spoil anything.
he kind of does.
He like,
Can we
If you
rewatch
know,
it?
if you know the context of
Can
it.
we rewatch it?
Yeah.
By the way.
yeah.
Yeah. Some superhero movies. I just watched the ending.
Oh, I just don't watch them at all. I have superhero fatigue so bad. I don't
There's a lot.
care.
There's a lot of TV. Okay. Can you make it bigger for me?
Help
Yes.
him. Help him.
Yes.
Help him.
And then we have to go and save Asgard together. That's good. It is. It's amazing.
Don Cheadle's rubbing his
It's a lot
face
of
like,
fun.
dude,
I can't. Can I say it?
No,
Can I just give him a little taste?
I wouldn't say too much, but you can say as much as. I mean, hey, it's your.
Let me
career.
just say this: like every other Marvel movie, it doesn't end well for the superheroes.
That's true. In Marvel, it doesn't end that.
Oh,
way.
Don
Somebody
Cheadle's
else
uncomfortable.
Gets really badly.
Wait till you see this next one. Everybody dies.
dude,
Not everybody.
not everybody.
Is that?
Oh.
Whatever.
Can we rewind that part?
Yeah. Can we? You'll cut that.
That's
part.
not.
Who, is there anybody in Infinity War you get to meet that you're excited to meet?
Am I in trouble?
A little,
Is Barry gonna be mad at me?
dude. I don't. I just move on. I wouldn't try
Okay,
to like.
no.
Was he drunk?
Oh, I didn't see that part.
Yeah.
Was he drunk?
I don't think so.
Jesus
Like-
Christ, that's so cringe.
Don Cheadle's brain is working twice as fast as Mark Ruffalo's brain is.
Dude, that is the best description of that video. No offense to Mark Ruffalo, but that's he's like, hey, can you just stop? Mark
Yeah.
Ruffalo's like,
Can we rewind?
will I be in trouble if I say yes?
Yes. The answer is yes.
Yes, 100%.
It's the biggest franchise in the
Wait
world
till you
right
see what
now,
happens at the
buddy.
end. Everybody died. Well, not everybody.
Everybody.
He's like, dude.
Dude. Instantly, Don Cheadle's like,
Wow. How much
I
trouble
love
did
cringe.
he get
I
in?
love moments like that, and it just makes me so. It's so real.
It's your chaos. It's that same thing you were talking about in the beginning.
Yes.
You're a freak, Wesam.
Is the camera on me?
no, there.
Come share it, camera.
That's a funny question.
Hey, buddy. It's this one. Hi.
Hello. That made the right side of my head tingle weird. That was weird.
What?
I know that was weird. I think it was the electricity in the.
No, it's my vibration.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh man.
My
No,
superpowers.
I love. I want to shoot something like that. That cringe moment, like, do you know the original Office? Been rewatching it.
Oh, the
Oh.
British version?
Love it.
Yeah.
So uncomfortable. So uncomfortable. What else is there like that? That uncomfortable. That cringe. Anything you can think of?
No, I'm
Switch
even
Everett?
thinking
No,
like
I'm kidding.
So uncomfortable. All the time. Just like,
You're the worst, maybe?
I hate that show. Those characters are so unlikable.
You're the worst.
Yeah.
What is? I haven't
They're just full of terrible people. They're all the worst.
They're all terrible people.
And I'm sitting there going like, there's nothing redeeming about any of you. I hate all of these characters, and why am I watching? So I just stopped.
Very interesting.
I
I'll
didn't
have to
like
check
it.
this out.
I actually really like it.
I didn't maybe give it a good enough chance.
that's-
but I didn't
that's
respond
what-
to it.
I think
very quickly.
I think it's really well written. I think yes, the characters are terrible, but
There was that movie with Patton Oswalt and Charlize Theron. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Oh. That movie, she's like a pretty unredeemable character, and the whole time I was.
Oh, the
everything was,
mom.
Like,
She plays a
yeah.
mom, and she just tired of being a mom.
Yep.
That's
That's super cringy
I'm
the
sure.
whole time.
I'm sure it's a great movie, but I have no. This follows into what's going on with me recently too. You know, you had superhero fatigue.
Yeah.
I have content fatigue.
What do you
There
mean?
is so much stuff out there right now.
Yeah.
I don't know what to watch. And you know
So
what
you
I
just
am
go
watching?
back to old stuff.
I go back to old stuff, and I go back to stuff that is lighthearted
Yeah.
at the end of the day, like baking shows.
Oh my god, I love baking shows.
I know. Zumbo Sweets are great. That show, they make Zumbo look like a psychopath a little bit.
I don't know that one. Isn't that
It's
the
on
Netflix show? I haven't
Great.
seen it yet.
Wonderful. And they have a really loud Brazilian woman who tries to help the contestants. She is so loud, and you can't understand a lot of what she says. And I know that's offensive to some people, but that's the truth.
Did you watch Nailed It? Also a baking show on Netflix?
Which one is that? Is that one with the time frames? They have 3.
Yeah. And they have to take like this beautiful creation and try to recreate it, but they're like at home chefs that don't really know what they're doing.
I think so. Yeah.
I didn't like it.
Okay.
But I was curious if you watched it because they have a loud host as well who is hard to watch.
British baking shows.
Oh, love that.
You know why? Those Brits. First of all,
Classy.
thank you so much, Katie Leclerc. It's a reality show with class. Spoiler alert, season 1, some nice old lady accidentally took somebody's thing and moved it. And that person's cake melted. And the guy, visibly upset, said who moved it, somebody moved it, and he didn't want to out her. And so his cake was
Sacrificed.
He got let go. He got let go.
Yep.
Next episode, they just said it in such a classy way. They're like, that old lady, fortunately, she's not joining us anymore. We wish her the best. And they realized that it was because of her. She accidentally did it. So it was just a classy way they
But
let
in
her go.
America, if you do that, you're like, ooh, what a competitor.
Yeah, or they
Sabotage.
or-
Oh, so deceitful.
right, or the producers be like, hey, you gotta confront her about it, or hey, you gotta,
Yeah.
because reality TV show producers will do that
Oh,
just
yeah.
to get some footage. Love British Baking Show.
Yeah,
Great,
really good.
great show.
They've got that young girl on too. I'm like rooting for her the whole time.
The 2 hosts.
Yeah. No, the contestant. She was like 17 or something.
Which season?
No, that
are
was
you on?
Great British Bake Off. Different show.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I need to see that one.
I really like baking show. I love baking. That's my therapy.
I know. Oh, I remember those cupcakes you got for the Brett Davern show 100th episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
those
so
were
good. That was really good.
I'm actually going home and a friend's coming over and we're gonna bake. That's my
awesome.
like plan for the whole day. She's like, I don't know how to do this. Can you teach me? And I was like, sure.
Okay, here we go.
What?
We're gonna shift to what will make this podcast explicit. Saw a beer ad online for beer made from the yeast of certain women models. How do you feel about that?
I'm confused.
Okay, what's going
First of all, I want to know how they collect the yeast.
on? Whoa. I can figure out a couple of ways.
What?
They
No,
create the culture from a woman.
Yeah. Second of all, I want to know if the different beers have different flavors.
I'm sure there. What's the word? Oh man, this is. Yeah, I'm sure there are some tints of flavor with each one that vary, that different. There's a different.
This one tastes like
symphonies.
honey.
Yeah.
A little bit more. This one has. So it's like a fine wine.
Yeah, but like, what do you think? Though I think it's just like a marketing thing. Just like.
Oh, for sure.
There's no way that.
For sure. Stone Brewery was making beer using the water from like distilled urine. It was urine water.
Why?
So
gross.
They were saying that it was for, like, they were trying to be more green. That instead of using fresh water, they were distilling the water vapors from urine.
Yeah.
So that they weren't using new water.
What's their name?
Stone. It's huge. It's this huge
Stone?
brewery.
Hey, Stone. Be less green.
Yeah.
Be less green.
Yeah.
You're looking at the camera. It's not.
You know what?
Come over here.
Hey, Stone.
Make your head vibrate again. Be less green.
No, seriously, Stone. That's incredibly gross. Just recycle. Use cardboard or something. That's.
And now they can't
Use
hear
cardboard.
What? Oh, they can. Mother. I don't like you, Stone.
They're a good brewery though. Like they have
you. Yeah, their
good
beers
stuff.
are good.
I don't trust them now.
Yeah, maybe
Is
not.
all their beer?
It's not all of them. It's
It's
just
just the
one
one beer, okay.
One like line.
You know what? If I was CEO, be like, who came up with this? Because I don't agree with this. Nope, we're not doing it. I don't know.
I'm not doing the yeast beer either. For the record.
No,
Yeah.
it's too much.
It's too much.
I'm not saying it's gross. I'm just saying it's too much. Is that fair?
It's just sort of unnecessary.
Thank you.
Yeah. Although I will say this, and the reason I went to the like flavor profile thing, I just read an article about a dairy farm that is selling. Normally, you get there's a lot of dairy talk on the podcast today.
heavy dairy.
Heavy dairy episode.
It's gonna be big in Wisconsin.
It's
Killing numbers are through the roof in Wisconsin.
So there's this dairy farm that's
Sorry, it's just a little spider.
selling. Oh yeah, he's tiny.
Yeah, he's tiny. Anyway, go ahead.
This dairy farm that's selling. So normally when you gather all the milk, you just throw it in a big vat, you culture it, whatever, blah blah blah, and then you put it in a little gallon jug and sell it to the grocery store. This farm is doing that process for each cow individually. So you get the milk that you receive is from only one cow, as opposed to like the 70 that they have in the milk bank.
Cool.
And they say that they have a cow that's her milk is the most popular milk.
Oh.
Like it's the most delicious. And so it's sort of like a wine where like there's flavor profiles based on the one cow that you wouldn't be able to taste if it was just all dumped in the same vat.
Oh.
So it's kind of interesting.
My parents are buying milk now from just fresh milk. It hasn't been what's it called?
Pasteurized?
Yeah, or anything. And they're
Yeah.
and they're boiling it at home, and they're getting that thick layer of that they call it the
Is
skin.
that how you got that?
Got what?
Earlier in the show, you were like, I use that kind of milk.
Oh no. That's one. It's an organic brand.
Oh.
Yeah. You can get it at Whole Foods or whatever.
Fancy TV star buys really expensive milk.
Yeah. For custard.
I forgot you're obsessed with custard. Oh,
Yeah.
Sam, I wish I would have remembered. I would have
Culver's.
brought you custard.
What?
Culver's.
Oh, God, Culver's is
No,
so
it's Culver's.
You've never heard of Culver's?
No, what's that?
It's
Magic.
I thought they had. Did they have one out here? Well, Culver's,
I
the
love
restaurant.
Dead Air.
The restaurant has custard, frozen custard.
Oh,
It's like ice
frozen.
cream.
Oh,
It's
no,
like
no, no,
frozen
no, no,
ice
no. I
cream.
like custard. I
Oh.
like thick
No.
custard, not
Well-
frozen, not ice cream. No, I want custard. I want egg yolks. I want cornstarch.
John Cheadle
I
to your
want
Mark
cream
Ruffalo.
cheese. I want cream cheese in there. I want a little bit of sugar, lots of vanilla. Fuck. Love custard.
Oh yeah, there are none out here. There are no Culver's out here.
Had it in Massachusetts,
No Culver's out here, huh?
I think.
Lot in the Midwest.
Guys,
Yeah.
I'm thinking a
Road trip.
or
Should we end early?
what? What's it called? A franchise opportunity for us here in California. Not a road trip.
Oh.
How about we invest tens of thousands of dollars from our own money?
You're the only one making money right now.
I know.
Yeah.
So
That's it. And you know what I spend it on? Custard.
Pranks. I was gonna say pranks.
pranks and custard.
Pranks, custard.
We should invent a custard prank. That's the best of Wesam's both worlds.
No, it's
both
not fuck up.
worlds. I'm so clever. I'm so funny.
I was having a stroke. I don't know why. That's how I go. No.
No.
Let's not mess up custard. Let's just keep custard separate. No, like we're not ruining the custard with a prank, are we?
No, I mean, it could be any. I'm not saying we need to make like jalapeno custard. I'm just saying like.
Ugh. And I love jalapenos. I love custard. That is a marriage that will never happen.
Yeah. I once thought I was really clever and I made sriracha ice cream and served it with chicken and waffles. I saw it on a show. Somebody else did it. And I was the only one who liked it. But I liked it.
Can we do... Oh my gosh. I think I just got an idea.
What?
A custard bake-off for charity?
Okay.
I like this idea.
Tell me more.
People bring in their custards.
Okay.
I am a judge.
You just... I see what you've done here.
What?
What?
I am a judge.
What?
You can be a judge too if you want.
No,
Brett
I'm
can
good.
be. I'll be the only judge. Okay, great. I'll be the judge because I'm Custard King. I'm Custard King! I'm Custard King! Michael, remember that forever. I am Custard King. Oh. Fucking love custard, man.
Apparently, there's already one in Astoria.
Kill him.
Michael, hack him.
You went real dark with that.
Contact the Russians. Hack him.
See? Custard King, where customers rule.
Oh, it's a restaurant.
Oh, it's a restaurant, not a person.
Burn it down.
But the person who started the restaurant could be known as the...
Anarchy!
We will burn Utica to the ground. Office reference for those of you listening. Nobody?
No, I got it. Utica.
Utica. You watched the American version of The Office?
The American version, yeah, not the British version.
It's from the
That was
American
from the
version.
American.
I don't remember. That was 10 years ago.
Yeah, well,
Should I go?
please. I would love to act with you in something.
Me too.
What would be a fun project for us to act in?
Anything. I need a job.
Okay. Well, I'll try to work things out.
I think that we should lean into your anarchy. I think it should be a Lifetime movie. And you should be causing chaos. And here's the thing. I'm always typecast as the person receiving the chaos, but I want to cause it with you. So we'll find other actors to do the rest of the crap. But
Maybe-
like we'll just like ruin people's.
We're a weird
days.
couple. Abusive. I'm very abusive to you, but you are also a little crazy. And then we bring in like a maid, to a live-in maid with us to take care of our dogs.
Yep. All 17 of them.
Yeah.
Yep. It's getting a little overwhelming. So
Yeah. Oh yeah.
we need some help.
And then we start playing mind games with her, like making dogs disappear.
Yeah. Yeah.
This got really dark.
Really dark.
Michael, write it.
Okay.
He's a writer.
I know.
Oh, okay. I
I know.
I thought you didn't know that. That's
No,
why I
I
got
know.
excited. I was like,
He could though. It could happen.
he has the skills.
Actually, I just came up with a movie idea this week.
Oh.
That movie idea?
No.
Oh, I
different
was
one.
like,
Yes,
How great would that have
that particular movie idea, yeah.
wow.
I
think-
just did a Lifetime movie.
I heard about that. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's called The Bride's Revenge.
Are you allowed to talk about it at all?
I'll talk about it.
With what you talked to me about it?
What did I tell you? Yeah, sure. I don't care. Go
Okay.
ahead.
What was?
I just got really nervous. Hey, can I ask you a question?
Hey, can I ask you a question?
No. Please don't.
How? When does this movie come out so people can watch it on DVR?
Probably about a month or so.
Okay. Quick turnaround.
Yeah, real quick turnaround. This production company is insane. It's crazy. They're in pre and post while they're filming every month. So they do 12 films a year.
Jesus. 12?
Yeah. Legitimately 12 films a year.
Wow. How
They
much?
shoot
How much
3
on
weeks.
How much is their production staff? Like, how many people are in their production staff?
The office, like the headquarters, 4.
How editors and everything?
Oh, well, like well, that's like post production or whatever.
Yeah, post production studio.
They're like the company itself is 4 people. The owner, there's a like coordinator lady, and then they have 2 firsts that alternate projects.
Wow.
And then everybody else is just hired project to project. They use a lot of the same crew, obviously.
Yeah.
So if you get in with this production company as a crew member, you basically like you're just set.
You're just working. All
Don't
the
be an
time.
idiot, but yeah, you're working all the time.
Lots of idiots out there.
Yeah.
I've lucked out with this show. I'm telling you, everybody's so nice, so respectful.
That's amazing.
So professional, good people.
That's
Because we
awesome.
both know it's not like that with every project.
No, it's not.
No.
I've been pretty lucky though. I haven't had a whole lot of.
In Culture
Morons.
Code, this book I just finished reading. Finished it, by the way. Culture Code.
good.
Amazing book.
Yeah.
It talks about what's the key traits of highly successful people.
Ooh.
Or is highly successful groups, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
And a common trait that all successful groups have is no dickheads, no assholes.
Do they say no dickheads in the book?
There's a specific group that says no dickheads.
Nice.
I think it's the Navy SEALs. Yeah.
Huh.
In our fraternity, we had a no boners policy.
Okay. Fair.
Is that for other reasons?
No.
Or like...
Question: is that like physical? Like?
No,
Oh.
it was for like no assholes. Basically.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, but boners are a good thing, right? So I don't understand why that's.
It's one of those words that has multiple meanings.
I see.
It's full circle.
Just staring at Katie. You know. No, but yeah, it was common trait. No dickheads. Weird transition there. I enjoy our talks, Katie.
Me too.
I enjoy the pauses in between. I feel like we could have a road trip and not say anything to each other and still enjoy it.
Do you want me to stop talking?
For podcast reasons? Yeah. It's just going to be me and Michael from here.
Okay. All right. Cool.
With the camera on Katie the whole time.
Camera on Katie. Camera on Katie. That could be a show. Camera on Katie. What's Katie doing today? Katie's going to get some custard. Let's see what's going on. Camera one. She's walking to her car.
Camera one's not working, by the way.
Fuck Michael! Oh, I talk to myself so much now. Especially in the mornings. I think I'm funniest right when I wake up. I'm not joking. Looked at myself in the mirror 2 days ago. Earlier this week. I was about to go on one of my runs. Super early. It's 4:45 a.m. I'm looking in the mirror and I just go, I will kill you. And I started laughing. Just like that's the first thing out of my mouth in the morning. Maybe it's not as funny right now at 11:15 a.m. But should have been there. It's funny. Anyway. I'm weird. I'm not going to apologize for that. Dude, I'm telling you. Back to camera on Katie. I like this idea of a reality show for you.
No.
Yeah. Keep it
That
on
was the
you.
first word I've said since I said I wasn't going to talk. Sorry, I broke my own rule. I don't want to be a reality star. Who? No.
No. This would be like a voyeur website.
Oh. There was a Lifetime movie from that production company. They made that.
Not surprised.
Yeah.
Wow. That's actually kind of creepy.
I would do a baking show. I would do like a host a baking show or something like that, or
Katie bakes. Katie's baking.
it's called Katie's Kitchen.
Katie's kitchen.
A Lifetime movie about a baking show.
I don't know.
I like it.
Oh, a life. Okay, here's the story. Here's the premise. Hit reality baking star Sandra.
I was gonna say Sandra.
Whoa. Sandra Kensington
Ooh. Okay.
becomes involved in a cannibal.
You wanted to say
I-
human trafficking.
Yeah, I was going to say human trafficking. I don't know why.
Like maybe she's making baked goods, but using like human blood as an ingredient.
Yeah.
It's very Sweeney Todd.
You know what?
Yeah, it was very.
It's
sweet
really
inside.
hard to bake with human ingredients, I feel like. Making sweets out of human.
Oh no, you just have to find the right human.
Eh? I like doing that now. I don't know why. It's fun. It's fun. Ghouls. You remember? You guys watch Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know when they're setting up a profile for Charlie's character, like a dating profile. They're like, what are some things you like? And he's like, ghouls. It's like, what? Ghouls? No, we're not putting ghouls.
Oh, if you want like cringe TV, have you seen Who Is America?
Yes. Let's talk about that show for a while.
Okay.
They are 100% responsible. Those people who go on there and start doing that stuff.
Yeah.
I hate when people say, well, they were coerced into it.
No.
What? No.
You and I both know. We've done interviews. We've done things like the things that those people are saying. No.
They actually believe that stuff.
You're an idiot if you get coerced into taking off your pants. You're either a racist or a horrible human being or a complete moron. And it's probably one of the first two. To take off your pants and say the N-word?
Yeah.
Huh? No, to take off any article of clothing in an interview like that'd be impossible.
I'll take my shoes off right now.
Okay, you're not helping the point.
You sound like Brett. I've been working on my yes and skills. All right, I'm sorry.
Brett, no. Brett, what I love about Brett, when he was on the show, he talked about how he'll argue with himself in the car, you know?
Yeah.
That to me is still hilarious. He'll argue both sides.
Yep.
And then switch sides.
Yeah, you guys are friends because you're both psychopaths.
You know,
I bet he's woken up at 4:45, looked in the mirror, and said, "I'm gonna kill you."
I'll kill you. There's nobody there. It's just being silly. No.
You
You don't have that
talking to
dark
me?
side in you?
Of course I do.
What honestly, what is that in you? What is that dark side in you?
What do you
feel
mean?
Like we all have like a dark side. I talked about it. Like there's a part of me that wants to spread chaos. Because I'm so organized and most of my daily life. What part of you is that dark arts side?
Huh. I don't really know how to answer that.
By the way, anybody who's listening, everybody has a dark side to them.
Oh, no, this is what's interesting to me. And I was actually in that deciding whether or not I was going to get really real or not. So here's the real answer.
Right.
Your dark side, because you are so organized and very confident, you project your dark side out. I project my dark side in. Does that make sense? So I'm more critical of myself than I am of like I'm more chaotic towards myself than I am towards other people.
Is this because of outside circumstances or because
I
of
think
the
I've
way
just
you're
always been that way.
since a child, like before you can even remember?
Yeah.
It's inherently,
Yeah.
you feel like in your basic DNA or your core being, this is who you are.
Yeah.
The part of who you are.
Yeah.
You think you're able to change that?
I don't know. I really like to.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, mental health is like a big subject these days. And like, I think that's part of it. Like, I think certain people just want to spread that chaos outward and other people look at themselves more chaotically.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, what's the most that I would act out on? The chaotic behavior.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. I wouldn't necessarily act on it towards myself either. I think it's easier to act on it towards yourself. Maybe not. Maybe that's not the right word, actually.
I feel I get more negative in my head, and I can spiral easily into that negativity when I don't do extreme physical activity or meditate.
Exercise is so important.
Having that release early in the morning and meditating grounds me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Otherwise, if I go a while without it, bad habits start slipping back in. That's what I found works for me. I'm not saying it's going to work for everybody, but that's really
it's a
interesting.
good place to start.
It's really interesting that you feel like it. You feel it's going inward. So do you? Oh, this is.
Go ahead.
No. I was just gonna say, is it more mental attacks on yourself? You feel
Yeah.
like you're doing? Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
How do you stop that?
I bake.
Yeah.
I make something tangible that I can look at it and go like, oh, that's pretty. I did that. That looks good.
Control. Then?
Yeah.
You feel like that makes you feel better because it's very precise.
It's very precise and it's very. You just have to A leads to B leads to C, and then you get this result. And I like the structure of like following a recipe.
Right.
Because it is chemistry, and I like science, and so the chemical reactions with the baking soda makes this happen, and blah 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 blah. I like the nerdiness part of that.
Right.
Or drinking.
Do you like drinking because it makes you feel lightheaded and that's a good feeling?
No, I like drinking. It's like social. So I get out of my own head because when I'm with other people, I'm really bad at being alone. That's the truth of it.
Oh, okay.
So, like, when I'm with other people, I'm like, oh, you're funny. And I can, like, riff with that person and, like, we can go on a jag and it's fun.
Right.
And, you know, you're usually more free to do that when maybe you've had a couple, or at least I am. That's why I started this podcast telling you about the worst prank I ever played. I was drunk. Really leveled out now, so.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. No, I don't know.
Do you do improv?
I am going to start an improv class. Sean Cowig from Dr. God. Do you know those guys?
No.
Dr. God's this like crazy great improv troupe that I've been a fan of for 10 years. And then in this like new circle of friends that I'm in, they're there as well. And I'm like, oh, all 5 of you, you're all so talented.
Yeah.
And Sean Cowig and Justin Ware, who are both members of Dr. God, we're starting a new Nice Guy digital show. Their show is called, actually, I don't know if I'm supposed to say all this stuff, but I'm going to say it anyway, because I'm drunk. No, it's that they're starting a new show called The Way Highway, and it's a show based on marijuana. So in like developing that show and working on that show and all of those fun things, I've gotten closer with them. Sean teaches at the Stella Adler Acting Studio, and he's teaching an improv class, and he was like, you should take it, because I was talking about how I want to work on my yes and skills.
Yeah.
So I'm about to start taking an improv class.
That's the reason why I'm asking is because there's this amazing freedom that you're trusting a lot in your teammates, and you're kind of just living in the moment, which is very important. And it kind of frees you up to just experience whatever happens. Yeah, it's parallels with it parallels to like watching a jazz band improv on the spot.
Yes, totally.
Or watching two fighters fight.
Yeah.
Because
you don't know what's going to happen.
You really don't know what's going to happen. I need to share this great article with you then. Oh, shit. You know what it is? It's in Culture Code. I'll take pictures of the pages. They talk about the most successful improv group that do... oh, man. It's a type of improv game which is so difficult. It's Michael, please help me out on this one. I already see you're Googling it.
It's Googleable.
It's Googleable. Great callback. It's macabre, or it's basically you have to do story A and then story B, transition scene, and then go back to story A. It's really
like poetry.
It's a lot of callback references, and you have to tie in 3 stories together all in one at the end of it. It's a very, very difficult game. It's long form, obviously, but
I feel like that's what Dr. God does, and that's why I'm so impressed with them. Like, I don't
Heralds.
know. Heralds?
Heralds.
Herald.
Yes, they're called heralds. Just hit my... Find it? Did you find it?
I didn't.
Oh.
I had something called the question game.
No. Google improv game heralds. Super difficult. And they talk about certain ways of making a herald successful. And they're basically the foundation for great improv. And a lot of the stuff they talk about in there is like parallels with what it takes to live a good life. And it's very interesting.
Oh, it's basically like sitcom structure.
Like an A storyline, a B storyline, and then it all
Opening
comes together.
scenes A, B1C, or B1C1. It says group game. Scenes A2, B2, C2, group game. Scenes A3, B3, C3.
Yeah.
That's basically sitcom structure.
Yeah, and put that in improv form. So you're basically creating a sitcom episode in improv form, all on the spot, tying everything together.
It's so impressive. Improv is so impressive to me.
Yeah.
Also, I'm the funniest person I know, so.
Really?
I'm only half kidding.
You are pretty funny, though.
I know.
I'll
Thank
give
you.
that.
Thanks.
And you are a good actress.
Thanks.
Yeah, you really are. So I think you're going to have a lot of fun with this. I'm curious to see what happens. How long is the class?
It's only 4 weeks.
I would love to hear about it after you're done with it.
Yeah, I'll come back and we talk about it.
Yeah, I would love that. We're not over, but I'm just saying I want to...
Yeah.
Oh, that's so interesting.
I'm excited about it. I did improv in high school, obviously, because I was a theater nerd.
Yeah.
That's what you do. But I think I just feel like I'm so much better I'm a better person than I was. Like, I'm more confident in myself now than I was then. So I feel like I would trust myself more.
Yeah.
And I just feel like I'm a better performer in general.
Yeah.
So
Confidence is such a weird thing, man. It's such a tricky line, and it's like a lot of people go through their whole lives hoping that, you know, like, I wish I was more confident. I wish I'm more confident, you know? And I'm just thinking, I'm just talking right now, but like, life's too short, man.
dude, all jokes aside, like, that's why Craig the Shark is in my life now. Because I don't want to be the guppy. I want to have the confidence to be the shark.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's
Absolutely.
that's what that analogy is for me. Like, we were joking about it earlier, but like, truly, that's like, I went my whole life being like pretty not confident.
Yeah.
I made choices based on the fact that I didn't trust that I was good enough for the other thing.
Yeah.
I see two paths in front of me and I was like, no, I'm going to do this one. But now I'm like, no, you got this. Do the other one.
I dig that.
Yeah.
I dig that a lot. Yeah, life's too short, man. Maybe that's why I also answer those emails and those questions like that. Because, you know what? I don't care.
Yep.
I like being blunt with people. And not in a rude way, but just like very honest, because I don't think we get a lot of that nowadays. I feel like a lot of things candy coated, sugar coated, and you say things not to make people feel uncomfortable, but I think that being uncomfortable is necessary sometimes.
Oh my gosh, it's so good to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That's when you learn.
100%.
That's why I want to go skydiving. I want to do something that is uncomfortable.
Can I recommend something?
Yeah.
Can you look in your schedule right now and then set a date for it and then stick to that date?
Okay, well, yeah, I can.
Well, no, I mean,
The 1 year anniversary of my choosing myself over my husband
yes.
happened recently, and I wanted to do it for that, as like I'm falling into myself. Like, I'm trusting in myself. I'm taking this leap of faith. And there was like a physical representation of the choice that I had made a year prior. Anyway, that date has come and gone. So I was like, oh, well, maybe I'll do that for the second year. But I also feel like let's do it before that, if that's more fun.
100% do it as soon as you can.
Really? Don't wait?
Don't wait. What are you doing next weekend?
I'm going to come in here and hang out with Kurt Mega.
Oh, yeah. Kurt's in the show. Yeah. He's coming on the show. Super nice
I am
guy.
probably going to swing by and poke him in the
Do
head.
it. Go to Santa Barbara. Make a day trip out of it.
Yeah.
And you said you don't like to do it alone, right?
I don't know. I don't really want to do it alone.
So, excuse me. You said you don't like being alone.
I'm
right?
not good at being alone, no.
Great.
You're like, go do it by yourself.
Yeah, because you don't like it. Yeah.
Huh.
You should, you know what?
So now you're not
Because-
going to do it with me anymore?
No, because
Damn it, Wesam!
No, because this is why. You are a really great person, Katie. I really mean that. And you got to like being with you. As cheesy and corny as that sound, you have to like being with you, because a lot of people like you. And honestly, if I didn't like you, you wouldn't be on the show and I wouldn't talk with you. I don't have any assholes or people I don't like in my life.
No boners.
No boners. No boners. No, seriously, go do it by yourself. Make a day trip out of it. Go there, make the reservation, buy the tape that comes with it. Tell them, hey, celebrating getting my divorce. Great.
Well, actually, that's what it'll be. I promise you this, Wesam. I'm still in the middle of it. I'm still doing court stuff. I'm still doing lawyer stuff. The day it's done, I will do it that weekend.
When is it?
Who fucking knows?
Oh, let's see.
No. But I think that is the physical representation of. That's what I want it to be meaningful for me. Like, I don't want to just willy nilly do it. I see the like potential for like this being a moment.
Right.
And like, go trust yourself and like literally jump out of an airplane, meaning take chances in life and jump into things cautiously and smartly. Like, don't be dumb. But like, I see it representing something more in my life, and I feel like that's like the struggle, like that's the whole back. So here's my promise to you, as my friend.
Before you make that promise, let me just speak my piece.
Go.
And then it's your choice at the end of the
Go.
day. That all the paperwork, all that stuff.
Yeah.
That's bureaucracy.
Okay.
It seems like mentally and emotionally, this break has already happened from your ex, correct?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All the paperwork and the bank stuff, that's stuff that's it's physical. It doesn't hold as much weight as the emotional and the mental side.
It does hold me back though.
I get it. It might hold you back, like with financial stuff, right?
No, just like I just feel like this, like you're trying to run forward and somebody's holding on to your shirt collar, and you're like, ah.
I feel like in my mind, jumping and having that sooner than at the end of it makes the rest of it go, whatever. It's already done. I'm done. I'm not gonna let that hold. I'm not carrying that weight anymore.
All
So
right. All right.
that's my piece. But again, if you feel like at the end it's better for you, that's fine too. But I feel like I want you to stop carrying this as soon as possible. Speaking from a friend to a friend, because that's a burden and a weight on you, and it's that classic term that these mountains you're carrying, you're only meant to climb. I truly believe that, and that's what a lot of people do. You're carrying extra weight on you because of this person. Again, I don't know them, but doesn't seem like he's a good person. Seems like he dragged you down. Seems like he took advantage of you. Seems like he's putting a lot of negativity on your life. And a good person doesn't do that. So that's why I want you to try to get as much of a feeling of jumping out of that plane, going, fuck him. Because in reality, who knows what's going to happen between now and that unknown date. There's no guarantee on our life. There's no guarantee on anything. That's why I think the sooner, the better.
All right. I like it.
That's all I'm going to say.
Okay. I like it.
Okay. What are you baking today?
I am baking a peach Prosecco cake.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What's Prosecco?
Prosecco is like sparkling wine.
Oh, okay.
Like champagne, cheap
Yeah.
champagne. You make the cake and you poke holes in it, and then you brush Prosecco all over it, so it gets the flavor of the Prosecco.
Oh, very sweet flavor?
Sweet flavor, but the cake itself is less sweet, so the Prosecco doesn't like overpower the sweetness.
Nice.
And then peaches, so it's like a Bellini cake.
Okay.
And then I'm making something for the first time today. I'm going to make my own puff pastry, and then I'm going to make little hand pies, cherry pies.
Ooh. Yeah. Sounds good.
Yeah.
My mom has this recipe. I called it peach pie. It's more like a peach tart.
Uh-huh.
But, oh my God, the thing. Oh my gosh. So good. So much butter and sugar. Didn't
Yeah.
realize it's mostly... but the pastry, the tart is mostly like butter and sugar.
Yeah.
A little bit of flour. Lots of peaches. More butter. More sugar. A little baking powder.
That's how you know it's good, though. Just have a half a slice, not a full slice. You know what I'm saying?
Impossible. Yeah, nah, not gonna do that. That's why I love working out. That's one of
That's
the reasons
fair.
why I love working out, knowing that, okay, I'm earning that custard.
Yeah.
I have noticed, oh boy, Wesam's belly's getting a little, what's the word? I guess I'm older, 30.
Yeah.
I feel like, I don't know, body's changing a little bit.
It's interesting how that happens, because you always hear that growing up.
Yeah.
And then you go, I'm 31. You get there and you go like, oh, shit.
There it is.
There it is.
There it is.
Jerks. The world.
I just turned 30
Yeah.
back in June.
And you go,
30 years, dude. 30 years. Michael has been on this planet for 30 years in this lifetime.
Yep.
What's going to happen? Katie, how old are you?
31.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
No problem saying it.
Seriously, you deserve to be happy. No, that's just been yeah, it's still on my mind. You really deserve to be happy. Yeah. Because I
I'm
don't
not trying to say that I'm not. I definitely am. I have a wonderful life. There's just moments where you go like,
100%. And I guess
I think everybody has.
I'm glad to hear that. I don't like so fucking stupid. So fucking stupid. You know how it should be this simple. You know what? We're over. Sorry. Bye. That's it. Doesn't have to be this fucking long drawn out. I hate when it's like that because anyway.
Breakups are hard for people. It's interesting. There's so much ego involved. And I think it was a lot easier for me because I had already made that separation in my head.
Yeah.
And the other party in this equation hadn't. And so like they go like, wait, me? You know? But I think that's sort of a natural response to it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just being
No,
positive.
anyway, I'm very biased in this
I'm so close
situation.
though. That's the thing. Is I'm so close. I can feel it. We say I can feel it.
Okay.
It's gonna happen soon.
I hope so. I hope so because
It's in a year and a half.
that's what I'm fucking talking about, man.
Yeah.
That would not play in my. I'm like, I don't like. fuck. Like, I don't know what I would do. I really don't know. I have I have nuke options. I feel
Nuke
like,
options?
Yeah, like now. This is before I go to bed tonight. This is fixed. Like, I'm that person.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to go to bed with anxiety or upset or anything. No, we fix this now.
Interesting.
I hate.
Where did that come from for you? Was that like the way your family, like your parents didn't go to bed angry or like stuff like that?
No. No. Because I experienced the other side of it so much
I see.
that I'm tired of it.
Yeah.
Like,
Handle your shit now.
yeah, work
Interesting.
hard, be good to people.
Yeah.
Don't be an asshole.
Don't be an asshole. That is my religion. My religion is called don't be an asshole. That's it. That's the answer to life.
Work hard, and then go to bed and do it again. Do it again the next day.
Yeah.
Because what's the alternative? What's the alternative? Living a life that's full of annoyance and anxiety and being an asshole and being upset over stupid things.
The alternative is
I'm
not.
done with that. I seriously am. I have opted out of that type of lifestyle.
The alternative. No, I'll tell you this. The alternative is not moving forward at the intersection. That is asshole behavior that people get enjoyment out of. So you have the impulse. This is what I'm saying. This is why you're a good person. You have the impulse because everybody has the impulse. But just move forward 4 feet because it's not hard. Do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean. I don't know. I've seen people waste literally a decade. Okay, I'm going to tell you a really personal story. I don't think he listens to this podcast. I have no ill will against the gentleman, but it was a wake-up call for me of where I don't want to live. I need to change something. It's actually one of the reasons why I started my old podcast, Actors Anonymous.
Huh.
So, about a year into LA, I shot my first pilot, and it was like, how are you on time?
Good.
Okay. Do you have to be anywhere at a certain time?
No.
Okay. I shot independently funded pilot, and I was having a blast on it. It was a great role, etc. And there was a guy on set. I thought he was the coolest guy. He was so funny. And I was like, this guy is cool. He was older. And I was like, man, he's just a really cool guy. Wanted to be friends with him. Eventually developed a friend relationship. It was like slow, but eventually we became more and more friends. And then I noticed he was kind of negative. You know what I mean? Or some red flags were coming up that I didn't know were red flags that time, and I'm like, oh, like he doesn't have a job. He still asks money from his parents, and he's older. And I was like, oh, that's fine. Everybody's struggling, whatever. It's fine. I didn't think too much of it, and he wouldn't ever really try to get a real job, or he would start a new endeavor, and then as soon as it would get difficult, he'd back away from it and make an excuse and sell off the equipment for it and then start something else, maybe get back into acting and everything. Anyway, I kept hanging out with him, and then he started asking me for help for like self-tapes for self-tapes. And at that time I had invested in a better computer, and I was like, I'll make monthly payments. I was like making a game plan to make my self-tapes more streamlined and more efficient. That way that was something I didn't have to worry about. And I learned how to do it. I learned about editing. I learned that whole process. So he would ask help with it. And at first I was like, yeah, I'd love to help you. I'll show you. And I started showing him, and he'd be like, okay, cool. And then he'd like, hey, can you self-tape me again? I was like, oh, sure. Come on over. And so it became a habit for him, for me to do the work for him. And then eventually I was like, hey, do you want to learn how to do this stuff? He's like, oh, I'm not good at that stuff. And I'm like, well, I can show you and like teach you, because that's how I learned. He's like, okay. And like I would take videos for him and send it to him, and still. So he kept like taking it. I felt like he was taking advantage of me in that way. And then every time I would hang out with him, I noticed, man, like it's always negative with you. Like there's nothing positive about you, like your life. You're always on the negative side of things. And then he said something to me, something like, yeah, man, it's, out here 11 years. And I'm like, 11 years?
What have you done with that?
No way.
Yeah.
No way. I am not in this. No, I'm jumping ship. I'm not with you on this. I'm not with you on your journey. Like, no way. There's no way I can do this. How do I? whoa. And so it made me think like, Jesus, there's other actors like this. Holy shit, I almost became this actor. So it made me want to do the podcast, help other actors, figure out why I was making headway, why other actors were making headway, focus mostly on their struggles rather than their successes, because who gives a shit about their successes? You can see that all the time. So, yeah, just how easy it is to get in that negative spiral and then stay there.
Yeah.
And then, hey, 5 years go by. Hey, 10 years go by. 15 years.
But
20 years.
the habit of that person is it's never their fault that time has gone by and nothing's happened. I find.
What do you mean it's not their fault?
Like you and I are ambitious in our goals, and if something doesn't happen for us, we examine ourselves and go like, oh, well, why didn't that work the way that I wanted it to work? How can I be different? How can I streamline the self-tape process? How can I be better?
Right.
The other actors don't do that. Like, you're trying to give him help, and they're not taking ownership of anything. It's always on somebody else. Like, if they didn't get the callback, then it's probably something that you did, not what they did.
Right. How do you think that's fixed? Because that's an awareness that's a self-awareness for me. You have to be self-aware to some extent to understand that there's a problem, first of all.
Yeah.
How do you awaken that in somebody? Or how do you think?
That's a great question. I feel like it's partially the way that you're raised, right?
Okay. That's part. Okay.
And then I think the other part is like, I think you have to surround yourself with people who, like, that's why your circle of friends is so important. Because if you're surrounding yourself with other people who are like-minded and negative in that same way, then it will never change. But if you can make a friend with somebody who is self-aware and goes like, oh, wait, how can I get better? There's some inspiration in that. And maybe you start following that path more than the other. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think those are two partial answers to that for sure.
What else? What do you have to add to it?
For me, I can only say what works for me.
Yeah.
Motivation. Why are you doing this? Why do you want to be an actor? Or why do you want to do this type of job? Or why do you want to choose this career path?
And why this versus something else?
Right.
Yeah.
Where are the stakes in it? Okay, fine. Why? Let's say you have your why. And let's think about what happens if you don't get what you want. That's a classic actor question. That's Uta Hagen's one of the 9 questions.
Yeah.
What does your character want? What do they do to get what they want? What happens if they don't get what they want?
Yeah.
That's weird how I've applied those 9 questions to my life.
To real life.
It really. I think that those are partial answers to that. Yeah.
I've always thought that acting is a life skill. Like, everybody should take an acting class, because you're not gonna like your boss, and you have to act like you do.
I did that for 6 years.
Yeah. But it's a skill. Like, it's coping. It's learning. It's escapism, yes. But like, you learn something about that character that you can apply to your real life. And I don't know. I think it's a very applicable skill.
Yeah.
I actually experienced that, like, first part, like, the people that you surround yourself with.
Uh-huh.
Because, for the last 6 years, the 6 years before I got fired from my job, I was, the people that I surrounded myself with at work were not necessarily, like, my boss in particular, but, like, we were all just kind of in place and just content with being there, kind of. And then I got fired, and then I started writing, and then since then, I've met Wesam, and I started at ICM, and things have been drastically different.
I think it's a really beautiful thing to see something like being fired as a positive thing.
It was. That was the worst job I ever had.
Change is inevitable.
Yeah.
And I think you have to accept that it's going to happen. Nothing is, even if things are good, they're going to eventually change to not good, and vice versa.
And it doesn't mean they have to stay that way, because it's going to keep changing.
Absolutely. I think what you can change, though, what's in your power, is your perspective on it.
Yeah.
And I feel there's a great, what's the word? It's a great skill. It's a great advantage for your ability to adapt to change.
Yeah.
For instance, restaurants. if you're opening a restaurant and you don't know how to adapt to change, that restaurant is not
goodbye.
open. Yeah. Adapting to change, I think, is critical for survival, and that's just from nature. You can see that. And then the question is, how do you? What's that?
And hard work.
Absolutely, I think that falls into the category of adaptability. Yeah, because then it's like, how do you learn those skills for adaptability? You know? Yeah, how do you learn those skills? Trial by fire, I think it's been the best thing for people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I know because of certain life events that have happened to me, certain stuff that used to trigger me emotionally do not trigger me as much anymore at all. Just because I'm like, oh, this is nothing compared to what I've faced before. So, all right.
I got this.
Yeah. I'm not going to let it affect me emotionally because I know it's not like some, yeah.
But then are there other triggers that surprise you?
100%. I just talked about this yesterday.
Yeah.
I saw a picture. I have no clue why. A picture of a dog and a cat. What's on his head? It was on Instagram, and I saw the entire Instagram account for this dog and cat that travel the world together, and they're best buds, and they're always cuddling and hanging out and walking with each other. And then
You look like you're about to cry.
I know, and I started thinking one of them is gonna be really sad soon, and when the other one passes away, and then I was like, oh my god. And there was another picture of a baby, and he was playing with a puppy, and it was like the most good. You just saw it. It was just all goodness. It was all like, it was just, there's nothing.
Everything pure.
Everything was so pure, and it's like, I want to protect you. I want to help you. Is that it?
Michael just pulled up the dog and the cat.
Mike,
yeah,
can
they're
you
buddies.
turn the screen a little bit this way?
A lot of followers.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. The dog is so happy. The one in the middle, top middle.
Yeah.
Look at him. They're just friends, having a good time.
Friends.
I have no clue why
They're
that.
just friends.
Why that? And there's other like really intense stuff that's going on overseas in Syria, which I literally have to make a conscious effort to detach myself, and because it just I start getting so angry, so angry, and I'm. Here's the fucking problem with it. Mainstream media doesn't report on it, and that's an issue. But then I think, okay, what happens if they do report on what's going on? This is what happened for those of you who are listening and are trying to understand what's going on. I don't know if you read my post.
Yeah.
Okay. over 250 people were killed in a town where my family resides in, and I've had extended family and people of my brethren of the same faith that I am have been killed, and there's a group of women and children who have been kidnapped by ISIS. Mainstream media hasn't done anything about it, and then I think to myself, what's the point of them reporting about it? Because it's going to be like one of those things in the fucking news that happens. 1 week we're all upset about one thing, and then we jump on to the next thing the next week, and you never hear a follow-up story. You rarely hear a follow-up story on some of the issues that have been going on, and it's constantly one thing gets sensationalized over the other, and then that's it. Nothing gets solved. We just say what's going on, and then that's it. I don't know how to help them other than like flying there with a one-way ticket and fighting ISIS. Like that's... Anyway, it's a very frustrating time right now, and I have to mentally detach myself emotionally from it, just because I have responsibilities here for taking care of my immediate family, like my mother and my father, and yeah, I'm not even sure where I was going with this, because then I get really frustrated and emotional, and yeah, I don't know a solution to it.
You were talking about drive, right, with Uta Hagen, and like, what do you want, and why do you want it, and why do you want to be an actor?
Yeah.
For me, that creative art, like what we create, brings people together. So I think by you staying here and participating in your show, and the issues that your show brings up, and the message that relays to literally the world, is you fighting.
I can see that. There is another part of me that I know it's slightly unrealistic to feel like I'm making change, I feel like I have to be out there looking for the people who were kidnapped, like the mothers and the daughters and the children who are literally part of a fucking organization who systematically rapes women and children. And then we have these fucking assholes here in the government all over the world who can actually do something to stop them. And nobody's doing anything to do that. Like, if it was your own daughter or your own mother who was kidnapped, and people experience that here in this country, they go crazy. Their lives are ruined. It flips upside down. And then you have actual people. Like, fuck being Republican, Democrat. Let's take our president right now. He has the ability to stop these things from happening. I'm not saying he's going to stop. He has the ability to stop everything from happening, but he has the ability to stop real evil from happening. And look at what's being focused on. If you don't like get upset when you hear stories like that, I don't need you in my life. You're not part of the human team.
Do you think that those accounts that have like dogs and cats being best friends are a distraction? Do you think that's positive or negative or?
No, I'm not holding those things into a negative account. You know, it's their life too. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And like, it's not like this account is gonna. You know what? I should shut down this account and go fight ISIS. You know what I mean? Like, that's obviously not realistic too, right?
Sure. I'm talking about like the distraction though. Like, people are distracted because they look at these accounts and they're not aware of what's happening in Syria and stuff like that. Are the two related or not? Like, I'm asking.
It can be. It doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing either.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean? There's that, when obviously it would be to a certain extent from where I'm at, because I physically can't do much. If I'm constantly seeing, that's the other part. You have this survivor's guilt that I've had a problem with. And obviously, like, it's like, well, why am I here? Why am I getting to live such a great life while people part of my extended family and brethren of faith are being kidnapped, killed, and raped? Like literally ISIS went, like, these fucking cancerous people went into like these surrounding mountain villages, people who had nothing to do with the war, went in and wiped out entire families. As a person in political power, if you hear that and you have the power to control the military, you do something about it. Plain and simple. Like, there's no argument about that. But because those people are so detached, because they're focused, because they're so greedy, because they live such comfortable lives, they don't give a shit, and they don't see those people. They don't see what's happening to those people as, they don't see them as people. That's the problem. They don't see them as their own mothers or daughters. I don't know what to do. I don't know. So I'm just praying as much as I can. I guess making people aware is the first step. Mm-hmm. I really didn't want to talk about it on the show. I really didn't want to. And yeah. All right. I did.
It's frustrating because feeling like you feel like awareness isn't enough. Like, it's not a tangible thing. You know what I mean? But it does have an effect. It's frustrating because it's the first step. And it's really frustrating because it feels like this is obvious. So, I'm with you. I'm sorry, my friend.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know what to do to solve this problem. Like, you just see what's going on with people and what people are focused on, and
we're just so divided now. Left, right, middle, whatever. But we're just, as people, we're very divided. Sucks.
It's the classic game plan. Keep people fighting with themselves so they don't focus on the people who are actually causing the problems.
Yeah, sure.
These tariffs, do they affect the politicians? No. Affects us. Michael, I'm speaking on the majority of politicians. I know you're involved with a politician right now, and
He's a prospective politician. So
Prospective,
it's all
okay.
good.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
all good.
And I'm saying this very generally because red flags get raised for me whenever Senate people have different healthcare systems and are taken care of than the people, and they're supposed to represent
Differently
the people.
than the people.
Than
Yeah.
the people.
Yeah.
No red flags. Nobody thinks that's a little fucking weird.
Strange.
I don't know the solution. I don't know. I just want to go fight and kill ISIS. That's all I want to do. So where does the podcast go from here, Katie? Yeah, I don't know. I think being appreciative also of your life is really important. Not taking it for granted. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you? I think we talked about this before. Do you believe in an afterlife of anything, reincarnation, or just a one-shot deal? Stardust? Are we Stardust? I mean, we are Stardust technically. So.
Stardust. I don't know. I believe in don't be an asshole religion, and I don't know what that means beyond this, but like whether or not you behave that way so that you get rewarded later, or you behave that way so that you get rewarded now, karma, or you behave that way because you just generally don't want to be an asshole. That's whatever your motivation is. Like, just take care of each other.
Yeah.
Religion, I think, divides people so quickly. And I saw a lot of that separation. And I just feel like, why are we doing that? So I backed away from religion at a young age, and then was young enough that as an adult I went, maybe I should revisit that. So I went back and revisited it, and I was like, oh, no, I was right the first time. I'm good.
You know what's the way I see a lot of religions?
Huh.
These like gems of wisdom
Yes.
and truth covered with crap and lies.
And manipulation.
Big time.
Misunderstandings as well.
Thank you.
Misinterpretations.
100%. And then you incorporate people who are greedy, who are manipulative, and use it to their advantage. The worst type of person. The worst. Those people who recruit suicide bombers in this way. Check this out. They'll go to a poor, uneducated family, find a guy in there and tell him, hey, uneducated, hey, if you go kill yourself, you'll go to heaven, virgins, anything you can possibly imagine, and then financially your family will be taken care of. How does that sound? To us, because we're educated, that's obviously bullshit, right?
Yeah. Yep.
We'll be like, well, you go do it then. Obviously is the immediate answer. You know, like, why aren't you doing it? And then that person goes, oh, because they're uneducated. Like, well, I either stay in my shithole or I go kill myself, and then I'm in heaven and my family's get taken care of.
Yeah.
Those people who do that are the worst pieces of humanity you could ever imagine. What would it take for you to go do that to somebody?
Oh, no.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. See, this is why I have trouble talking about it. Because if a politician were to sit across from me and tell me the reasons why they couldn't get involved in, like, you know, killing ISIS, I'd choke them. Like what? Oh, you're not part of the team. You're not part of the human team.
Yeah. I like that. I like human team. If you're going to be a part of one, be a part of it.
Or like those families at the border. And on Joe Rogan talked about this. He says the exact same thing. We don't want you on the team. If when you see that, when you see a mother, like he says this on the podcast, screaming from a primal place, "Don't take away my kid." These people have come here for the chance at a better life than they had, and you're taking away her child. If you look at that and says, "Well, you shouldn't have crossed the border," we don't want you on the team.
Yeah.
If you're not upset, okay, they did something bad. You do something so much more worse. No.
Well, it's propaganda as well, like Fox News and all that. Most of like the right wing like media bubble, their stories are designed to dehumanize people,
Right.
so that you're not on the same team, and that they don't give context or they don't give history lessons on why immigration laws have changed and how their parents immigrated here. And while it wasn't technically illegal, they were just allowed in. And so now that they're in, they're like, oh, wait, well, I came the right way. But there was no illegal immigration back in the day.
Oh my gosh. If that doesn't frustrate, okay. You know what the solution is? I become emperor. I think we've discussed this before.
You're King Custard already, so.
King Custard's gonna rain down some.
Wesam's going to have more nicknames than Daenerys in Game of Thrones. Wesam, King of Custard, Emperor of the World, King of ABC.
King of Whoa. Whoa.
Hey.
Let's check in with ABC before we say that.
I like it.
Bleep.
You know what? I think, while we were talking about this, we have to, I'm trying to settle myself down and think about what things do I have control over then. And the things I do have control over is taking care of my immediate family, mom and dad. And another thing I have control over is making sure anybody I come in contact with, it's a very positive experience. Anybody who needs help, always helping them, no matter what. If I'm able to, absolutely.
You know what I have control over?
Baking.
Sugar, butter, and flour.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we're definitely not going to end on that. Yeah. Isn't it interesting how let's take a step back here and just look at the amazing, really, ups and downs and wide gambit of what life is for certain people, like what they experience and what we're experiencing with our life, especially nowadays because we're so connected with, the internet. Are you pre-internet? Do you remember pre-internet?
Oh, yeah, for sure. If you could come back in an era, what era would it be?
Yeah. Any era?
Yeah.
In any part of the world?
Yeah.
Like visit or just
To visit, yeah.
to visit, and then I'd come back to this time?
Yeah. Is this the time you want to be in?
Well, I believe in reincarnation.
I know.
So,
But just as a visitor.
I think I've experienced a lot of good things in this lifetime. So, it's fine for now. I mean, I love having basic sewer systems.
Yep.
You know, so that's something underrated, I feel like.
Yeah.
Well, the Romans had sewer systems.
Yeah, but have you seen my bathroom? It's a normal bathroom, but I love it. You know what's really funny? I had to buy a new, what's it called? I'll answer your question, by the way. Don't worry, I've forgotten. Bathroom rug. Mine was gone.
Yeah.
So I got one, and then I put my feet on it. I was like, oh, this is such a first world luxury, whatever. It would have to be probably during the time the pyramids were being built.
Ooh.
Yeah, I want to figure out who was in charge of that, or actually pre-pyramid Sphinx. Who built the Sphinx? Because those are pre the pyramids too.
Huh.
Or Atlantis.
Oh, Atlantis would be cool.
What about you?
I want to hang out in 2008
What's in
for a good, solid week and a half. Oh, it's just better times. Just like better president, better, where cooler heads prevail, like that kind of a thing.
Gotcha.
That feeling of hope.
Yeah. Just for like a hot minute. I do like the idea of the pyramids, though. Figure out what was going on there.
What's a crazy new, more realistic theory they have on it, and then I'll tell you my theory is that there was tons of water in that area, and they would actually carve the stones in the actual lake bed.
Oh.
And they would be able to move them a lot easier
Oh.
through a floating system. And then they would move them to where the pyramids were.
Huh.
Yeah. Now, here's my crazy theory.
Yeah.
Which actually has been proven, scientifically proven, and proven through old stories happening in places in Nepal or Tibet. So, there's this story of an explorer, I think in around 1900, who went to a secret Buddhist village.
Okay.
Somewhere in the mountains of the Himalayas near Tibet and Nepal. And he recorded in his diary the monks would arrange themselves in a half circle. Some had instruments, some were just vocalizing, and they would produce like this sound, right? And in front of them is this huge rock. And then eventually, after a certain amount of time, the rock, which was like, so you got the arc of people right here, right? The arc of the monks, all aligned in like a half arc. What is it called? A
half moon.
Half moon, right? You got the rock,
Yeah.
and then behind the rock is like a wall, like a giant rock wall as well. So they'd be making this sound and music, and then the rock would start levitating. This is what the guy wrote in his diary.
Huh.
Recently, within the past handful of years, they've realized that sound is vibration, correct? And with pebbles, with like 2 bass speakers, they've been able to levitate small pebbles by changing the frequencies on the sound coming out of the bass. Have you seen this?
No.
YouTube, Michael, check it out. Mind blowing. Absolutely mind blowing. And now they're able to manipulate and move the rock through changing the frequencies with the speakers. Does that make sense to you? Because sound is wave, right?
No, I understand. Yeah.
Yeah. And so they're able to move it. So with the pyramids, my theory is they had long time ago when they were being built, there might have been a knowing of this type of somehow to levitate things through vibration, sound vibrations. Kind of mind-blowing. So that's my theory.
My brain shut down.
Why?
Because that's incredible, but it seems crazy.
Yeah, it's when you read about by itself the journal, you're like, this is not real. There's no way that's real. I'm not gonna move anything like that. But with a certain formation and a certain changing of the frequencies, you can. Were you able to find it?
So the stone sort of hopping. What?
Isn't that nuts?
I
I haven't seen this video yet.
mean, if people are listening to this without seeing this visual, it probably just sounds like UFO sounds.
It does. When what we're watching is literally rocks, heavy rocks being levitated through sound waves. That's What do you think? What's on your mind right now? You look very Concernicus. You're calling bullshit?
Maybe.
On the video? That video? It's a
one
fact.
example of what is probably, there are probably more videos. This is the first time I've seen it.
Fine. If there's a smaller video, you know what you could also see? That's not really. That's vibrations. Never mind.
These were like large stones, and it was an electronic. It looked like it was sitting on like a old school copy machine, like a large electronic device.
That's what copy machines are used for.
To levitate rocks.
That's what I use mine for.
Oh yeah.
I have 5 in my apartment. I don't know where they came from.
They just showed up one day.
Yeah, I have a problem. I have a ghost problem. Whoa, what?
Ambien Amazon.
This is the weirdest script ever. Oh.
It's not that I don't believe it. It's that was my first example of it, and I would need to do more research before I fully fell into that hole.
Totally understand. I'm just letting you know. that I wouldn't say that it was scientifically proven without seeing a few videos, doing the research.
And you're a smart person, so I do believe that.
Okay. But yeah, do the research. It's pretty interesting things.
It's definitely Googleable.
Googleable.
100%. 100%. I was thinking of a scary scenario, and I wanted to share it with you, Katie, which I think...
Oh, my goodness.
What?
I'm excited.
Here's the scenario.
That's kind of like the can I ask you a question?
It is. A little bit.
Totally.
But mine's just straightforward. I'm gonna...
I'm going to scare the poop out of you.
Can we shut the lights off in here? I want it dark.
Ah.
So, let's say you wake up one morning, right? Yeah. You have, and let's make this, right now, do you have roommates or no? You
No.
No roommates. You're living alone, okay?
Yeah.
You wake up, and it seems like a normal day, right? But, like, there's a weird feeling in the apartment. I can't put my finger on it, but there's, like, a weird vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Not scary, just weird. You get ready, you have some plans, you're about to leave the house, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you go to your front door, and there's like chains all on the front door, and like locks, huge padlocks, everything, and there's like weird inscription on it. And you're like, what the hell?
Okay.
Pretty freaky, right?
Yeah. So, like, I'm stuck in my place.
And you're like, what the heck?
Uh-huh.
And you try calling out, nothing. You can't get a signal in your own home.
Huh.
Try your landline if you have one. No signal.
Uh-huh.
You're like, this is fucking creepy. And then you see somebody walking by, let's say your window, your front window if you have one.
Uh-huh.
Or you see somebody in your peephole walking by your door and you're banging, you're like, hey, help me, help me, help me. And they don't hear you. What do you do?
Start a Instagram live video.
Let's say
Oh, no, there's no signal.
Yeah, there's no signal.
Oh.
Let's say there's no internet.
There's no nothing.
Have you ever played Silent Hill: The Room?
You mean, are you talking about the...
Is that the Guillermo del Toro thing?
No.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, The Room. Okay, no. I never played that one.
The apartment. It's basically that scenario.
Interesting.
What do you do?
Oh, it's so creepy. Here's what happens. So the guy wakes up, right? And this is happening to him.
Yeah.
And he can't get out. He tries throwing a chair at the window. It doesn't work. Everything, like it doesn't break.
Mm-hmm.
If you're watching the YouTube video, Katie's just smashing her nose up against the microphone and thinking, and she forgot she was being filmed.
I did.
She got too comfortable in the studio. She's like, this is scary. This is frightening.
I'm turning
Yeah,
red
it's a great video game. It's terrifying. And then like satanic writing starts happening around the apartment, and then this is how she gets out, or he gets out of the apartment. There's a giant hole that appears in the bathroom.
Well, you got to go through it.
You got to go through it. Anyway, I always find that scary. No?
Yeah, it's creepy.
Yeah.
It's really creepy.
Anyway. Well, this has been an adventure with you today.
Do you know what I would do? Air vents.
Your air vents are that big?
Crawl through the air vents and hope you don't come across photos of a funeral.
Solid answer. May he rest in peace, Jojo Rodrigo. Jorge Rodrigo? Jojo Rodrigo. Rest in peace. What's his name?
She didn't remember. She just made up the name. We have the same type of thing. Ours is Rosa Pipemeyer.
Hey, what? You have the same type of thing. What?
Like, we get mail at our house.
Oh. I'm thinking of funerals still.
Oh, yeah, that too.
Crazy. Crazy life. Katie, thank you for taking time.
Thank you, Wesam. I'll come back after my improv class and my skydiving adventure.
Yes, please, actually. I would love to hear about your cathartic experience with both of those things.
Yeah.
It's been an absolute pleasure. Take care of
Likewise.
yourself. And what an adventure we went on today.
Ooh.
Very adventurous. Ladies and gentlemen,
We're out.
thanks, Katie. Well, Michael, we certainly ran the gamut.
There we go.
There it is. Hey, thanks for listening, guys. Thank you for Idobi Radio for everything that you do. Thank you, Nice Guy Digital. Thank you to the listeners. What a great episode. What a great audience. Kisses. Hey, Michael.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're a nice person. Hey, Steph. Thank you. She can't say anything because she's not here right now.
But she should be.
I know. She might be going to Atlanta.
I know. We've been talking the last few days.
Yeah, I've been trying to find some hookups for her there. We'll see what happens.
But she just got something offered out here.
What?
Potentially.
Welcome, Steph! Steph's going to LA! Announcement!
It was like an offer for an interview, but like...
Oh my god. Damn it, Michael!
I'm sorry.
You made it sound like it was an offer!
Semantics.
Semantics. Unbelievable. You know what? I'm leaving. I'm not gonna even say goodbye. Bye.
Bye.